My name is Elor Tarwill. I am from Sderot the last 2 decades, 20 years in Sderot, volunteer in Magen David Adom for the last 9 years. I don't know how much you know about what happened here in the October 7, so I hope I can talk about 15 hours in 15 minutes. Sderot is actually a city of heroes, not superheroes like in Marvel Studios, but real-life heroes from the youth to the elders to everyone over here. And not just the ones who stood and ran and fight and saved on October 7, but everyone who lives here. The reality of rockets every now and then is just someone who builds up a resilience that helps us to get back to our city after October 7. We are already 7 months after October 7. You can see the city is alive again. It's not normal. Most of the kibbutzim around Gaza Strip didn't come back yet. But here in Sderot, after 5 months, people started to come back. And today, about 90% of the city is already back in the city. When you hear, if you heard, every now and then when we have escalates, the Hamas and the Jihad are firing rockets at Sderot and all over Israel. When they fire the rockets, our systems, the Iron Dome system, is shooting rockets towards their rockets in order for the people in Sderot, in all over Israel, to be safe. If there's someone outside, you can get inside a shelter just like that. But if you can't get inside, if you are in a car, if you don't have a shelter, you need something to protect you. So that's our Iron Dome system. And when everyone says that only shrapnels fell from the sky and everything is okay, that's a shrapnel. So you understand that living in Sderot is not just keeping ourselves safe from the rockets of the Hamas. It's living in times that when a child just walks over there, he needs to understand where's the closest shelter, where can he hide if there is a red color alert every now and then. So living like that for the last 20 years actually built up the resilience for October 7, I think, helping us to be safe in October 7, to help in October 7, and to come back to our city and believe in what we are doing here and living here in Sderot. It's the only thing that counts. So that's the Iron Dome. I don't know if you heard, but the Hamas terrorists got to Sderot from 3 different directions. One of them is the main entrance of Sderot, and that one. And the second one is from the industrial site, the other side of Sderot. And the third one was straight to the neighborhoods of Sderot, where most of the houses are of elderlies and families with children. The northern entrance of Sderot. The main entrance from here, they came inside with 2 pickup trucks. They just drove to Sderot. They didn't care who are they killing. And when the Switzer family, and I'm going to tell about them in a second, came to over here to get out of Sderot because of the rocket attack, they didn't even understood that there are terrorists already in Sderot. The Switzer family of 4 was a family of 4. The father Dolev and the mother Odaya. They had 2 children, 2 daughters. Romi was 6 years old and Leah was 3 years old. When they heard the sirens, they decided to go to their grandparents in Rehovot. When they got to this roundabout, there was another siren. They didn't even witness the terrorists that are already in the roundabout. So Dolev took Romi and Odaya took Leah. They ran 2 different directions. Odaya ran to this construction site to hide, and Dolev ran to where you parked your car. There is a shelter next to it. At the last second, he didn't even saw it, but the terrorists were already over here. They just shot him. He lay down on Romi to protect her. They shot him again. They tried to make sure he is dead, and then they got back to the pickup truck and drove all the way to the police station. They had maps on them. About 60 terrorists got to Sderot and junctions nearby. They did an ambush on all the main junctions, so all the forces who came to help got shot from the ambush they did. 51 civilians and policemen died in Sderot at that day, 70 on the days afterwards, because the combats in Sderot continued until about Friday that week. There were terrorists who were hidden in many places around Sderot, and the last one was killed about Tuesday morning. Dolev was severely injured over here. When the Romi, the little girl, got up from the sidewalk, she tried to help him. She understood that he's probably dead. She got back to her car. You can see in the video, she's going back to her car. No one doesn't even understand what she's supposed to do. And when Odaya got out of the construction site, she didn't even understand where is Dolev. One of our policemen, Golima, came from the neighborhood got to over here, saw Dolev. He thought he was already dead. He was severely injured, and he told him, drive after me to the safest place in Sderot, to the police station. What he didn't know, that the 2 pickup trucks with 26 terrorists were already in the police station. So Odaya tried to drive. She couldn't. She was probably stressed. So a worker from the construction site, a Bedouin worker, told her, sit next to me, I will drive you to the police station. I will drive after him. And then he drove away. My friend, who was on call with the ambulance in his home at the other side of Sderot, got a call from the dispatch who told him to get to the entrance of Sderot. Something is going on. No one understood what is going on. When he drove over here, that was the second that the terrorist got away. He was in an ambulance. That's not something that you can miss. He's got all the symbols. If you see him, you know it's him. So when the terrorists shot him several times, they knew they are shooting an ambulance. In Kfar Aza, they walked around all the houses, and when they saw the ambulance on call, they shot his wheels, so no one can help the injured and no one can get out of Kfar Aza. So the second he went over here, you can see at the video I sent you that they are shooting at the ambulance, and he's just succeeding on getting away from them, but he was injured. He was badly injured. Luckily, he had another driver with him, and when he couldn't even continue on driving, he just stopped about 200 meters north of here and lay down on the road. The other driver picked him up, got him inside the ambulance, and told him, we can stay over here, there are terrorists in Sderot. At that moment, me myself, when all the sirens went off about 6:30 a.m., I told my wife and my 5 kids to stay in the shelter in the safe room of our home, and I'm going to the station to grab my ambulance because it seems like there are already rockets who fell and they will need our help. Me as a volunteer in Magen David Adom, I usually have an on-call ambulance with me, but because my youngest was born about a month before that, so I told my wife in the holiday I won't be with my ambulance. So luckily for me, because of that, I live much closer than my friend. I would have been first one over here alone and probably dead. So I have my son to thank for that. When I heard the sirens, I went to our ambulance station, Magen David Adom. I just started my ambulance and I heard my friend calling on the radio telling he was hit. I didn't even understand from what he was hit because I turned off my ambulance to go and tell the other paramedics something is going on, something is weird. And then we started hearing the massive amount of shooting next to our station. The third entrance of the terrorist was from the other side of Sderot, next to our station. They got to Sderot, they got inside this main road, crosses all over Sderot. They got to the roundabout about next to our station, got out of the pickup truck and just walked around shooting everyone. There was a minibus of elderlies, 70, 80-year-old elderlies who went from Ofakim to a trip in the Dead Sea. They got inside to Sderot to pick up another one, and they had a flat tire next to the bus station, next to the bus station of the library. The library in our station, Magen David Adom station, is very close. They got out of the minibus in order to fix it, and then the rockets started shooting. They tried to get into the shelter wasn't open, but after about 5-6 minutes, the terrorists got over there. They got over there, they just got out of their pickup trucks and just started walking. They shot a cab driver, they shot a motorcycle driver who was just going back to his home, and then they saw the minibus. They just passed over there and just killed everyone. Then they made sure, when we got over there about 20 minutes afterwards, everyone was already dead. Everyone was shot, everyone already had headshots, because they made sure no one will survive over there. They continued on walking over there next to a grocery store. They saw one of our firefighters who lives in Sderot. He came back to his home after a shift. They shot him with an RPG. Just like that, like they are walking on their streets. You can see in the video they are shooting him and just continue on walking, killing everyone over there. At that place they killed about 30 people. Besides the elderlies, many more civilians were killed over there. I also volunteer in Zaka. Zaka is an organization in Israel who is responsible for handling all the deaths in accidents, in wars, So that weeks, months even, we had a lot of work already over there. So at that day about noon, we had like brief from the wounded. So we just got out of our station and started picking up all the bodies from the streets. There were bodies scattered all over Sderot. In their entrances to the northern neighborhood of Sderot, they got to houses of elderlies. I remember a 70-year-old disabled man sitting on his couch with the oxygen mask on him because usually with it, the TV is on, but he has a big hole in his head. They just got inside, went over the wall, shot him in the head, and continued to the other house until they encountered a force of a policeman and a soldier who managed to kill them. Dolev was badly injured. When Odaya drove to the police station with the policeman over here, after she drove, he got up. He tried to get up. A civilian saw him, just got him inside his car and drove all the way to our station. In 7:05 that morning, a car drove fast inside our station. At first, he thought it was a terrorist, but then he started shouting, "There are terrorists in Sderot. I have an injured person over here. Come and help me." So ever since 7 a.m. that morning, we just became a hospital and an ER inside of Sderot. The station was surrounded with wounded. We had more than 40 critically injured persons over here, and me myself, alongside 2 paramedics, got the only armored ambulance we had in Sderot. And ever since 7 a.m. and until 11 p.m. before midnight, we just started getting all the injured we can from Sderot and got back to Sderot to get as much as we can outside. There were terrorists all over. They were shooting all over. We didn't know where they are. We weren't armed. Today I'm armed, but at that day we didn't have. In Israel, not everyone can just go to the grocery and buy a weapon, so we didn't have a weapon. But we knew that they are coming. We knew they are coming to kill as many as they can. They are coming to destroy, to eliminate our nation, our Am Israel. And we just knew that we can do something and we will do it. Our station became the hospital, and we became the only one at the first hour because more armored ambulance came from Jerusalem and from Ariel. Till they came, we were the only ambulance. So every time we get out, we just took as many as we can. We took 2 critical line at the back, 1 injured sitting next to me. We just knew that if we want improvise and do everything we can, people will continue on dying. Dole was the first one, and then we drove all the way to our friend's house. The ambulance driver was hurt. He went to our friend who was a paramedic. He started treating him on the living room, and he called the dispatch and he told them if he is not out from here towards the hospital in the next 10 minutes, he's going to die in my living room. My friend already recorded to his wife. It was the second time a terrorist tried to kill him. He lived in Hebron once, and a terrorist, and he survived that. So my friend told him they didn't succeed the first time, they won't succeed the second time. So we grabbed Dolev from the station after we treated him, and about 7:30 we drove all the way, knowing that there are terrorists all over Sderot, to our friend's house. We took our other friend who was injured and started getting out of Sderot. The battle of the police station was the main event, as they say, in Sderot, because that was a battle of heroism. Everyone who heard just ran to over there. Policemen, soldiers, SWAT teams, SWAT soldiers, because there wasn't a team over here. My friend is a SWAT soldier. He ran from his home, only with a gun, towards the police station. We will go to what's left for the police station now, and I will tell you about the heroism and the miracles we had in Sderot, because they tried to get control on the police station, finish in a matter of minutes, and then getting out to all the houses over there and trying to and started killing everyone. They had orders to take control of the police station, Magen David Adom station, and the fire station, and controlling the city, just starting to kill everyone. And the heroism of everyone over here who understood what is going on, understood that they are trying to kill all of our nation, just ran to the fire, ran to help. That was saved many amount of people over here. So we will go to over there and I will continue over there. I can sit for hours and talk about and tell about all the heroism and things at that day, but when the 2 pickup trucks got over here, one of them stopped just over there next to the orange plastic thing, and the other ones stood over there where those 2 pickup trucks are now. They got out of their pickup trucks and started engaging in combat towards the policemen who were inside. All the people, the policemen, the civilians who are all on the streets, they just shot him and killed them. When Odaya and the policemen who drove before her got over here, the policemen got to that corner and they shot him in his car, killed him. Odaya and the driver, Amar, the Bedouin driver, saw what's going on, tried to run, and they just got until right about that white bus, and terrorists from that direction shot them. They got to the window and shot him again. They didn't shoot the kids. Why? I don't know. As a volunteer in Zaka, we saw what they did to kids all over the Gaza envelope. It's not because they are, I don't know, a center or something. They killed everyone over here. Kids, elderlies, crippled people. For some reason, maybe they didn't saw them because they hid. The terrorists, after a few seconds, succeeded in getting inside. At that moment, we had about 5 minutes before the terrorists, alongside the combat with the policemen inside, got to the roof. Before they got to the roof, my friend Aharon and another friend G got with all sorts of people, policemen who were on vacation, soldier who was on vacation, firefighters, everyone who had guns, who understood that they are terrorists, ran to over here to help. At that about 5 minutes, they succeeded in getting to the car and getting the kids out. That's the car, that's the Suiza car, that's before. You can see here the pickup trucks with all the terrorists. They already got inside. You can hear Romy screaming. In Hebrew she screamed, "Izru lanu," it's help us. And she screamed and screamed until someone heard. That's from the body cam of my friend, Aharon. He's running towards the car. Now that's the car. She's asking, "Are you from Israel? Are you Israel?" A 6-year-old girl just lost her mom. Her mom is lying dead next to her. Just lost her dead. She was the one next to him. The only thing she understands that Israel is the people who will help me. She didn't ask if are you from the army, are you the good, are you the bad. Are you Israel? Take us. And then there is a massacre over here, there is a war. But she understands another thing. She is the father and the mother of her kid. Besides asking, are you from Israel? She said, I have a baby over here. She understood that now she's responsible for her sister. They got him from the outside of the car and ran to over there. So they got those two girls out, and at that second, 3 of the terrorists, all the policemen inside, all was already in combat against the terrorists. 30 terrorists got to over here. Just a small thing. Today, after 7 months, they found a vest of terrorists over here in the rackets, a vest of terrorists with grenades. The city sent a message about 3 hours ago that there will be an explosion. Our bomb squad got to handle it, and don't worry, she sent all the city. It's not like everything here is quiet and normal. The hour is working. Yeah, just 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago. Another thing, a month and a half after the October 7, a body of terrorists was stuck in the sewer. The sewer just, I don't know how to say it, so I said it spit it out after a month and a half. It was already dead. So the combat here was the policemen got to the 2nd floor trying to stop the terrorists. At some point, they got to the rooftop. Our wounded policemen were at the right side, and the 3 terrorists succeeded on getting up. One of them was a sniper. When he got up, he just stood on the edge of the roof and just made a massacre over here. He killed everyone. He didn't even just kill them. My friend Rami Cohen, he was a policeman over here. He was shot just on the grass over here next to your car. There is a video of him dragging himself towards the car, and the sniper is continuing shooting him. Over there, next to the white Jeep, Martin was a policeman. He was the only one here with a rifle. It was a normal day. Everyone was only with pistols. The sniper killed him. No one knew how we can stop the sniper. The policemen on the rooftop were already injured. My friend G, after they ran from taking the kids out, ran to this place, to this shelter. He stood next to him. He's from the SWAT. He's a sniper on the SWAT. So he started asking, does anyone has a rifle? No one had a rifle. You can see that the sniper from the rooftop, the Hamas sniper, tried to shoot him. You can see on the wall all that gray, that was bullet holes from the sniper. Suddenly, by a miracle, a soldier on vacation came from that building, ran to over him, and he was with the rifle. So he told him, give me your rifle. So normally, I wouldn't give him. He was with the Shabbat's clothes. No, I don't know if he's a soldier. So the soldier told him, I'm not giving you my rifle. I'm here to fight. For some reason, he took out the belt of the rifle in order to fix his shirt inside his pants. My friend G grabbed the rifle, stole his rifle, ran to over here, 20 meters where the sniper is shooting. Went over here, got to this place, got to the 3rd floor, knocked on the door, said, I'm from Israel. The 70-year-old person over here opened it. You need to understand, in Sderot, everyone is one big family. If you need a glass of water, if you need sugar, it will open. If they would have finishing what they tried to do over there and getting out all these buildings, elderly, families with kids, it would have been a much bigger massacre. Just like he knocked on the door, said Israel, and he opened, they wouldn't have any problem getting inside every house over here. He asked him, where is your toilet? He pointed to his toilet, he lowered down the seat, got up on the toilet, cut the window. You can see the net of the window is still cut. You see the blue and the red pipes. At the left of it, there is a window. The net is still cut. He cut the window, put out the rifle that he stole from the soldier, and waited. About 5-10 seconds afterwards, the sniper lifted up his head in order to continue on killing people. One shot, he took it out. The other terrorist over there tried to throw a grenade on the policeman on the roof that was already injured. Second shot, took his hand out. He wasn't a threat anymore. They had a big flag of Hamas on the roof. They tried to lift up a flag as saying we control the police station of Sderot. He waited on that place fighting against the terrorists for an hour and a half until more forces came. Over here we had 10 of our policemen who died over here in this place. 8 of them was injured. The terrorist was inside the second floor. We didn't have a way to get our injured policemen outside because they were on the rooftop. When we got to over here with our ambulance, a crane of the firefighters came to over here. The SWAT soldiers got to the basket and the crane just lifted them up to the roof. During they are shooting towards the window, towards the terrorists, got to the roof, picked up all the injured in several times, got them to the basket, got them down to us, to our ambulance. All over again, about 5 times until they got all the injured. At the night, when the police chief understood that everyone that's alive inside are terrorists, and unfortunately all the policemen inside are already dead, he understood that trying to get the police station back can cause more deaths and more injured, so we decided to take it out. A tank, an Israel tank. You need to understand, a tank inside of a city. Got inside of Sderot, stood where the green bus is standing, and fired about 10 rounds. But the station was armored because of living in Sderot. So a fire chopper shot another missile on the station until they buried the terrorist inside. One terrorist got away and the soldiers chased him and killed him about a block away. 10 of our policemen died over here. But although something horrible happened here, that was the miracle of Sderot. If the policemen who were inside would have engaged in combat trying to stop the terrorists, and everyone who heard and got to over here fighting from the outside to the inside, the terrorists would have finished their job in the police station and just killing over here hundreds of people. So I think that's one of the biggest miracles in Sderot. From over here, we drove all the way in all the places in Sderot, taking out all the injured, treating them, all the things we could do. And in the afternoon, we just started with our ambulances picking up the bodies from the streets, not leaving bodies scattered all over. In our religion, we believe that besides that you don't want people to see all these bodies, there is something sacred with a human body, and you need to take care of it. And so that's what we did in all the months afterwards, in all the Gazans, all the kibbutzim. As I said, that's a city of heroes.